Good morning, everyone. All right, this is my second attempt at this. I did this a couple years ago in an attempt to work through some shit and thought it would be the best route. I think it worked. I was able to work through it, talk through it at least. I guess still working through it, but it was educational to say the least. So this time around, I probably don't know any more about doing it, and I'm probably no more fit to be doing it, but I'm going to give it a shot anyway. Last time because life, so it's going to stick with kind of that same thing, except for it's about quitting. So we all have shit in our life that we need to quit or that we have quit and overcome. And this is all kind of a new concept to me. So I've done some stuff. I've been to school, did the army thing. I'll get into all those details at some point, but I hold on to some things that have held me back or kept me in a rut. And my goal is to not only acknowledge it but see what it is and then work my way through it, because it's just fucked up my plans, or maybe it was part of the plan, right? So a little bit about me. I'm Chad Scola, your host for the remainder of this, and for the maybe one person that sees this first episode, thank you. But I've been there, not really, but I started making some headway, and then I always find a way to fall back into the same spot. I do a lot of studying, I've taken a lot of programs, and I learned that I get through these programs because I just want to complete it. Like, it's just the thrill of saying I did and getting through it. And I realized this year that I'm not taking the lesson. So I'm hearing it, but I'm not listening. So I have all this knowledge and experience in my mind, and I don't utilize it properly. My goal is to start utilizing it the way it should be used. And by doing so, there's just certain things I got to quit. I just read The Four Agreements. Never heard of it. I had it introduced to me this year, actually, and picked it up at first, and I thought it was just a super weird read. I didn't understand what it was going to get into, so I stopped. I just don't think I was in the right mindset at the time. So now I just finished day 30 of 75 hard for my second time around yesterday, and it has been a much more eye opening experience this time around than it was the first time. I think it's because last time it was exactly what I just said. I wanted to just get through it, I wanted to just say I did it. And I missed the point of it. I just went through the motions and did it just to do it. And I didn't even pay attention to the shit that I should have been learning. Don't get me wrong. No matter what, you are going to learn something, and things are going to be better, but there is a way to maximize it, and I did not do that. And I had attempted to start it again a couple other times. I ended last time New Year's Day, I believe, of 2022. So it's been about a year and a half or so ago since I finished. Again, attempted to start a couple other times, and I found that those times were much harder to start again after having done it. I kept telling myself, well, we've done this before, so you're good. But in reality, I hadn't done it before. Yeah, I went through it. I read my 10 pages. I did my 2 workouts. I ate well. Um, I did my water. I got in really, really good shape. But it was about the mental part of it, and I made it just be the physical part of it. And the mental part naturally happened, but not the way I think it should have. I've gone back through and I've listened to, I think, every single 70 Hard Verses episode that Andy Frisella has, and I just listened to these guys, and all of a sudden it just hit me that I was in the wrong frame of mind from the beginning. And then I've done, a slew of other programs and things, and it was just all about completing it, not learning the lessons that need to be learned. So 30 days in, I will say that the first couple weeks was just the grind, just trying to get through the day and get all the tasks in. And I was exhausted and it was kicking my ass. But probably day 20, I finished, day 22, somewhere around there, I finished a book that I don't know how else to say it other than like God put that book in my path to start this journey out, and I needed it. It was The Change Agent by Damon West. Again, he was a guest on Andy Frisella, and it was just unreal what, like, the impact that it had. Um, he's an addict. He was a meth addict. I'm not a meth addict or drug addict in any way, but I realized that I'm an addict to, I guess we can sum it up to behavior or chemical reactions within me based on events and situations that I continuously put myself in. And I do it under the premise that I expect or assume there's going to be a different outcome, when I don't even know if I want there to be a different outcome. I think there's this addiction to the outcome that I know I'm going to get. And it doesn't work. It's unhealthy. It sets me back. Um, I've started over more than once in the last few years because of it. And it's just time to move on. So, anyway, I think I started that by saying I read the Four Agreements, and I got done with that and I just realized, holy shit, um, I've just been a pussy, to say it, to sum it up. I play it safe in some areas of my life, in most areas, actually. There's some places I don't at all, and I play it safe because I lack, I guess, the confidence, which is weird because I don't think I lack confidence in a lot of other ways, but in taking risks financially, even though I take them anyway and on a subconscious level, I've just found excuses to stop. So anyway, I finished that book and I've just decided it's time to quit. Time to quit being a pussy. Time to quit saying, I'll work on that tomorrow, start it tomorrow. I mean, you've heard this, people way more influential than I am, or people who have been there, done that, and people who've made billions have said the same thing, right? That why do it tomorrow when you can do it today? But I don't know, I just didn't see it. And it's just set me back a lot. But in that same time, I have learned a lot of lessons. I have been through a lot. I've been all over. I've learned some really good lessons and I learned some really hard lessons. And out of it, I think that I am who I am because of it. So I don't regret the decisions I made. I think that the decisions that I've made have gotten me to where I am. And I think it was just planned, right? That I needed to have these resets and start overs to learn the lesson. And I think it's all for something bigger. Maybe I don't know what it is today, but I do know that quitting the things that I need to quit is the only way that I'm going to move forward. And realistically, it's the only way any of us are, right? So, with this, that's going to be the main premise of it. I'm going to go through this. Like I said, I'm on day 30. I have all intentions of finishing all 75 days and then rolling straight into phase one. So, 105 days of the Live Hard program, and I have things set up. I've started my move on the things that I've been too scared to try or was worried about what other people thought. I had lunch with one of my closest friends, best friend from all the way back to fifth grade, and it was, I think, exactly what I needed to hear as I'm making this push. He just said the same thing that basically the Four Agreements says, right? That you can't be worried about what other people think, and you just got to give it your best, and you just don't quit and you don't give up. Every day you get up and you do a little something towards it. Even if you can't find something to do, you find something to do and you just keep going. Not knowing how to do it is not an excuse. Being tired is not an excuse, but just a little bit every day will move towards the goal. And that goal I'll talk about at some point. Not yet, but I've started all the legal part of it, got my LLC set up and working on website and doing those things as we speak. But so soon enough. And I hope to get to the point where whether it's one person watching or no people watching, that I can sit down at this table or some other table and talk to those that have quit something, even if they don't know it. Maybe we can just talk. Maybe we'll just see whatever it is that they've done and what they've overcome and where they are today. And there's enough where people bring on these big successful people. I mean, I listen to all of them. I love it. But I have a lot of people in my life that to me are my inspiration, and they're names that nobody knows on a big scale, but I know them, and they have impacted my life in a way that I probably have never had those conversations with them. But get them on and have those conversations and ask and find out what it is that they've overcome or how they feel they've gotten to where they've gotten, and just see what lessons I can learn, what lessons maybe somebody else can learn with it, and just go through this journey together. So the goal will be maybe do this once a week, have guests on. I have a good buddy that I hope will be my co-host and do this with me, and we'll talk about success and failures, and maybe every now and then we'll just talk about sports or life, maybe throwing some politics in there a little bit as we enter that season. But ultimately, this is a way for me to hear myself out loud on the things that either I've done or the things that I need to do. And if one person can gain something from it, that's awesome. And if nobody does, fuck it. I'm still going to do it anyway. Anyway, thanks. I look forward to, well, actually, I'm not going to end right now. I'm just going to real quick talk about this first 30 days again. So like I said, it kicked my ass. It was just all the physical part. And I read these books, and I had some days where it felt like I had really made a breakthrough. And then I realized I kept putting myself back in the same spot and saying, oh, I'm going to start working on that tomorrow. And it wasn't literally until like day 27 when I was like, holy fuck, I'm still doing the same damn shit. I just have a whole bunch of other tasks that I'm guaranteed to get done, and I'm not even learning the lesson that I need to learn. I'm still listening to my bitch voice and stopping. So it wasn't until day 27, so 4 days ago, that I felt the shift, and I'm ready to run and rock with it. I felt after my first 30 days was a good time to start this and share how that's gone. Encourage anybody who hasn't done it to look into it. Remember, it's not, Andy will tell you over and over and over again that it has nothing to do with the physical side of it, that it's a mental toughness program, not a challenge. So I encourage you to look at it, or at least go through it, watch my good days or bad days. I'll talk about all of them, and we'll see where it ends. But anyway, that was all that I was going to talk about today. We'll refine this and keep going, and hopefully have some fun and get a chance to know some other people, and let me ask some of my close friends or people that I really look up to and respect how and or what, or if they don't even think that they've done it yet, what it is that they think they need to do to get where they want to get. So it's gonna be exciting. I hope. I think so. Anyway, thanks for listening, everyone. Until next time, have a good one.